Hello everyone! In this Factory Insider we will cover Team Corally factory fan mounts, what's available, what to choose, and of course how to mount it right. Heat is silent motor killer for all RC cars. Beyond the obvious smoke and toast, continuous high temps can permanently weaken the magnets, welcome power drop, lousy efficiency, and sooner or later motor failure. Before we move on, subscribe and share this video, it helps a lot. If you don't carry a temp gun, use this simple field check. Press fingertips to the can, careful. If you can hold it for around 3 seconds, you are roughly in the 60-70 degrees Celsius zone. And if you got heat resistant hands like me, you might hold it a little longer. If you flinch at 1-2 seconds around, you're likely around 80-90 degrees Celsius. That means take a break. Careful, hot cans can burn. Don't ask me how I know. And to keep the motor safe, you want to keep it under 90 degrees Celsius, which for my American friends is 194 Fahrenheit. What can make the car overheating? Tall gearing, jammed drivetrain, too tight gear mesh, big heavy tires, of course driving style, surface, weather. If you're running in super hot California weather, of course it will be more prone to overheat. That's when fans become crucial. Of course, don't forget about the ESC. Leave the overheat protection, let it shut down before it cooks. That's simple and easy. And that little fan on the speedo, it is there for a reason. In this episode, I will also show you how to swap it, clean it, and route the cables properly. I must admit, I do not really use fans on most cars. I take breaks, I chat. When I run for video making, there's plenty of breaks in between for the camera operator to, double check what's going on and so on. I stick to stock gearing, stock tires. So no, I don't really use them. But in Sands of Dubai, it was brutally hot. And those two fans kept the limited edition motor alive. Team Corally gives you 3 factory options. A blower style mount for 30mm fans secured with zip ties, a screw mounted holder for 40mm fan, just like this one, and the Kagama Limited Edition carbon plate for dual 30mm fans. That's it. Where to get them? Ask your local dealer at dealers.corally.com or buy directly at corally.com. Of course, all of the parts needed are in the description below. Let's start with the blower style mount. It's simple, quick and hassle-free. It fits any standard 30mm fan. You need to use 4 M3X14 button head screws to bolt the fan to the blower, then secure the blower around the motor with zip ties. 1 extra long tie is enough. With standard, you just need to daisy chain too. Before we mount it, let me answer the most common questions. Airflow direction. For bashers, where the airflow is limited, mount the fan to blow onto the motor rather than pull the air away. So this is where the fan pulls the air and this is where it blows. So that's the direction. So this side facing the motor. Cable routing. Space is tight. So I use 2 approaches. Either I add a short extension for super fast fan swaps, or I route the cable outside the spur pinion area and into the receiver box. You will usually need to disassemble it, but that's easy. Check 1-page manuals for the quick steps. Plugging into 3 receiver port, just figure out plus and minus And that's it. This blower setup fits all Team Corally cars, even synchros, as you can see. You just need to slide it sideways a little bit. Be careful about the cable. Do not slide it too much because you will hit the drive shaft. Just around this, and you can put the body on. As you can see, it's not touching anything here. It's flush. Everything is perfect. That's honestly a very good option for all of the cars. Next up, 40mm fan with brackets to mount it. This is tough bash proven option. Same airflow rules as before. Point them to face this side to the motor, so it will blow onto the motor, not pull the air out of the motor. So first of all, this mesh thingy ribs is protecting the fan from dust and debris, so it should be covering this side when the air is pulled into the fan. So what I like to do, first route the cable, then fan goes in, then the top cover, fan is in place, it's protected, it's covered. Now already put the nuts inside, and we are ready to mount it in the car. This one is a little bit tricky because you must mount it on a flat area and it must be bolted to it. So you need to make holes. Pick a solid spot. I like side guards because if you mess up a hole, guard is far cheaper than chassis. Pop the body on, test fit, make sure the fan won't wrap the shell, the wires will clear the gears. Then mark your spots and drill. That's it. For hardware, you are using M3X45 screws. The nuts are already secured in the mount. I like to use flat heads because it will be flush with the chassis if I'm drilling the chassis. But if I'm drilling the side guards, I prefer to use button heads because they are secured a little bit better, or the top option, flat head with the M3 washers to make it even more durable. The downside is you will always wrap the ground with those screws, so they will wear over time. You will probably mess the socket for the hex driver. Pros and cons, let's say. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite solution because I don't like drilling the holes in the chassis or the side guards, but it's the bomb-proof, biggest airflow, most tough solution we have. But there is one car, it's perfect for it. The Asuga. On the Asuga side guards, you can already see those two spots in here that have like thicker material, so you can mount those fans with ease. You just simply need to drill the holes. That's it. No marking, no hassle, no struggle. That's it. So let me quickly show you how to do it. But before we do, let me show you a small trick, because some people will now rush to their basement and look for electric drill or something like this. You don't need to, it's just two screws. What I like to do is I take any screwdriver. You can simply remove the tip, put the drill bit in, and you have very handy hand drill. Of course, it's not permanent solution. The drill is not cut on the side. You can do it, blah blah blah. Of course, but to make only two screws, that's perfect. All right, now the scary part. All right, that's it. Now it's simply a matter of mounting it. Remember about the orientation. Okay, as you could see, it's not that crazy job. It looks beautifully from the outside. You can see underneath it's super flush with the chassis, so it's perfect. I really like the solution. Now it's only a matter of routing the cable to the receiver box, but we already know how to do it. It's a little bit hard for me because depending on where you put it, it works on entire 6S lineup like the Kagama, Shiroi, Spark. You can theoretically put it into 4S cars like Synchro or Punisher 4, Kagama 4, but there's very little space and you need to put it inside the chassis, limited airflow, plus remember it limits the motor movement, so you won't be able to move motor more outside to fit a bigger pinion. Usually that's not a problem, but for some people is. But still, it's very sturdy and elegant solution, and I surely recommend it for the Asuga. But for Kagama and Kagama Limited Edition, of course, and Shiroi, I do love the third option, the carbon dual fan mount. Personally, that's my favorite. This one debuted on the Kagama Limited Edition, and it's a killer option. But remember, you need tube braces. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit Kagama 4 and Punisher 4 bracing. So it's straight fit on all Kagama and also works on Shiroi. What you need is simple. Screws, all of them are M3 button head, 18, 14, 10, some M3 Locknuts, plate, GPS mount, and of course fans. All parts are in the description. Mounting is straightforward. I like to do it underneath the plate, so the plate is from the top, to protect the blades from bigger stones or something like this. But if you mount it on top, it works the same. I must admit that I mounted the other way around on the trip and it was fine. What I like to do is I keep the wiring clean. You need to solder two 30mm fans together, parallel, heat shrink the ends and everything. I only change the plug to the free wired ones because it's just easier for me if I need to plug it and unplug it quickly. You don't have to do it. It's okay if you use two extenders. There are enough ports in the receiver to do it. It's just more neat and clean setup. That's it. Two fans, rock solid setup. It just works. If you have any issues with soldering, check this video or here somewhere. We already covered it. So let me mount it quickly. It's an easy task. There's quite a lot of wrenching because you have quite a lot of screws for all the fans, and I will show you how it fits in Shiroi. Okay, time to mount it to the car. Super simple. I like to pull the wires under the tower so they stay out of the gears. As you can see, the fitment is absolutely perfect. This little bracket from below, maybe that's the only tricky part. Just put it here, screw it from the top. So that's it, everything is mounted. Remember about the cable, just plug it into the receiver. You know how to do it already. I love this setup. It fits under the body with ease. There's plenty of room there. Doubles as GPS mount, so you can simply measure your performance. Man, I love this setup. I think it looks super cool with the red fans, red motor. I think the look is super slick. Damn, it's perfect. I love this the most. Alright, last topic, the ESC fans. First things first. Kill the power, unplug the pack and give the ESC a few seconds to discharge. I will do it with the ESC in my hands obviously because it's far easier for you to see, but you can simply do it on the car, it's the same thing. Most dead fans aren't really dead. It's usually tiny stone jammed inside the blades. Pop these 4 screws from the top. It's super easy job, you don't have to worry, you can do it on the car. It only takes a few seconds to do. You simply pop the cover, dust off any dirt or debris and use small little stones, and the fan should come back to life. But if that's not the case, it might mean that the fan is completely dead. unplug the wire first, pop it off carefully, take the fan out of here, clean it, whatever, replace it if you have to, and put it back on. You need to note the orientation of the cable, so it goes outside like this, here, put it through the top case, back inside. There's no mounting points, anything like it. Put it back inside here, cover back on top. I like to screw it first. All the 4 screws, super simply, back in with the cable. You can see you have 2 wires from this side only, so it means it can only be plugged one way. So 2 wires are minus and plus. That's it, and we are done. It was a lot of information, so quick recap. Motor fans keeps temps in check. Aim to stay under about 80-90 degrees on the can. Use what fits your car and style. Now you know all the options. Keep the ESC overtemp protection on, clean or swap fans when needed, and route the cables clean. Before we finish this up, one last tip. Don't kill the power immediately after a hot run. The heat sits in MOSFETs, so inside the ESC, and without the fan running, you can heat soak the ESC enough to damage it. I usually let the car idle a couple of minutes with fan spinning, then switch it off. Of course, there are tons of aftermarket fans, mounts, every possible color, style, size, whatever you want. As long as they move air, fit safely, you are simply good to go. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, follow us on social media, share this video, and thanks for watching. Stay cool, guys, and see you in the next Factory Insider. By the way, write me down what you'd like to know. If there's anything specific, I'm happy to cover the topic.